Okay, the bear thing. I mean, we won't linger on the bear too long. Who picked bear? Bear?
I didn't even get past.
Oh, just
Actually,
you
she
picked
said
it.
in an elevator. I switched
okay.
it.
Don't worry about that. But you picked bear.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation, the bear and the guy.
Oh my god!
agree.
It does.
Fucking killing me.
I'm
agree.
sorry. Like
It always depends.
it does. Like I'd rather
Well, here.
see a black bear than a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
And then currently
Watch.
I'm staying
Okay.
at like a hostel that's mixed gender, and I don't mind being in the same hostel room with guys
Okay,
asleep.
I'll
But if I'm out in the woods alone and I'm camping alone,
It's
which
a
I've done
hike, it's a
before,
Okay, so
I don't really want to see a
But-
guy and let him know that I'm there alone.
here's the
So-
question: would you rather cross paths with a random man or a random bear on a hike? So, the context there isn't really a depends because the random bear could be a black bear, brown bear, grizzly bear. What's
Polar
the
bear?
polar bear? The random man could be the nicest guy ever. Could be a murderer. Could be who knows what. It could be random man, right?
If it's a hike, then probably a man. But if I'm camping alone, I'm gonna rather see a bear. And also, Indiana does
Neither one of them want to see her. What is she wearing? She looks like a Confederate nurse.
have really any bears other than the occasional black bear.
It's a
So.
oh my god. Okay. What do you pick?
I picked bear, but if we're going on a hike, honestly, like I think I'm be scared of a bear
Okay.
rather than
What about you?
a man.
A bear.
Bear?
I'd rather a bear.
See?
Sina? Sina? Is it Sina or Sina? Man? What about you?
A man.
Man?
A man.
Okay. We won't linger on the bear one for too long, but basically, I think it's sexist to pick bear. I think you guys are raging sexists to pick bear, and here's why. I always like to use this, but, whatever. I've used it a few times tonight. If we change the question to, would you rather come across a random black person or a random bear, and you pick the bear over a black person, would we all agree that it would be really racist?
Why do these people that get asked the bear versus walking by the man in the woods question never really just take into account the fact that you've been with men alone? You've been with plenty of men alone. You've been with random men alone. You probably have actually walked by a man in the woods alone. You probably have been in that situation before. But anybody that walks by a bear in any situation, you most likely ran. I'm sure that the guys that you were alone and you walk by them on a dark street, or you sitting at the bus stop with them, or maybe your friend left for a while and left you in a room with some guy or some shit. You probably didn't get up and run.
To pick a bear over a black person?
But again, that people of color are victims of racism,
boy.
and men did this to themselves.
What the fuck?
Because the majority
No,
of men
that's
are
collective
fucked
guilt.
up.
That's collective guilt. I'm not guilty. If I'm an innocent person, I'm not guilty for what other men do.
But the
A very
majority of men.
It's not the majority. The majority of men
Let's
are, no, it's not the majority. Go ahead.
So if you're saying a majority of your exes cheated on you, are you gonna say, okay, all men are gonna cheat on me from now on? And if all of those men you dated were white or black, would you say, okay, black men are gonna cheat on me?
No.
She should have said yeah.
So why is it that all men are?
Because the majority of men, like, black people didn't do anything to deserve racism other than somebody just thought, oh, I'm better than them. Like, no, it's an opinion.
Okay, if a majority of your exes cheated,
Some of us did. Some of us did some things to deserve a little bit of racism.
you say all men will cheat.
But they did something to me. Black people did nothing to they didn't do anything to anyone.
What about that guy who fucking murked that white woman on the,
But the
was it the
whole
subway or
reason why
whatever?
racism
I remember
exists
that.
is
Wait, but hold on. What about
because
that
of-
white woman who got murked by a black man?
Okay. It's a man.
It's a black person.
It doesn't matter. It's a man.
Well, how do you know it's because he's a man? What if it's because he's a black person?
That doesn't exist.
Now, what do you mean?
So you're racist.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm testing your logic.
No, it's irrelevant because your color, I'm not seeing the color, I'm seeing that you are a man. And that most men are the ones who are doing this.
He called her, hold on, it was absolutely racially motivated. Didn't he call her like a white bitch or something when he fucking shanked
Yeah,
her?
he was like, got the white
Yeah,
one or
that-
something.
I didn't watch the
motivated.
video because it was,
Well, then maybe he's racist. Like,
This girl right here is stupid, but I like her.
still a man.
so maybe the motivation was racial. What did he say? He said something like,
He like walked away and said something.
Well,
about her
when
being
he
white.
walked away, he said, "I got that white woman," and
Yeah.
and the motive behind
just
it when
got the
they
white
asked-
girl.
when
Sorry,
the-
what's that?
The motive that when he was asked, "Why did you do that?" He said it was because he said that she was reading his mind.
Okay, so
That
he's
she could hear his
not
thoughts.
okay in the head. He's literally like mentally ill.
okay, so why can't you make that attribution towards men who commit crimes? Maybe they're mentally ill. Maybe it has nothing to do with the fact that they're men. Maybe they're mentally ill. Why do you give grace towards a black person who committed an atrocious crime, but not men in general?
Because it has nothing to do with their color of their skin. It has to do with that they're a man and men are just more aggressive than women.
I don't actually think that this is even true.
That kinda
even
makes
granting
sense.
that it was true, I would just defer back to
That kind of makes sense. Wow. She's kind of not stupid. Because if you think about it, men and women are different. But genetically, black people are no different than white people. So she's not going to distinguish white from black or Asian or Spanish or anything. But she can distinguish the difference between men and women because men and women are actually different. Now, she kind of makes sense. She's probably right.
just because a very small proportion of a group commits a crime, that doesn't grant you carte blanche to do this collective guilt thing where, oh, all men or all people of this group are bad.
I will.
Not all, majority.
No, it's not the majority.
I will say.
Wait, one thing.
Sorry.
Here. I want to explore the majority
So you
thing
think
here.
that crime? You just said that men are incarcerated more,
Mm-hmm.
men are killed more, men are like violence, all of that. I'm pretty sure that's all like they did that to themselves.
Wait,
They
hold
got
on.
incarcerated. They chose to commit the crime to get
Okay,
incarcerated.
so you don't have any issues with when there's overrepresentation of black people who are incarcerated or
She's
anything
really
like that?
winning this argument.
What do you mean a problem? Like what do you mean?
Well, do you ever make the argument that oh, why are these cops policing black communities this way?
Do I believe that?
Okay, do you think that there's any racist component to the fact that there's a higher proportion of black men in jail per capita than white people?
I think in certain states, yes.
Certain states.
Certain states, yes.
But I mean, this is across all states. Per capita, there's more black men who are in prison.
But there's also more
Is it just their choice, or is there systemic racism?
Well,
is there
for
then
sure.
is there-
I mean, yeah.
Okay, then there's hold on.
Definitely.
Check this out though. So George Floyd, BLM riots. He was killed by the justification for the riots was he was killed by the police officer. There are of course disputes as to the actual cause of death. Some people believe, and the toxicology reports seem to indicate as much. He died of a fentanyl overdose. In any case, there's massive outrage.
If Brian will cut this shit short, I'm gonna start thinking he's racist. What the fuck, yo?
Whatever. If I could tell you, though, that there are more just even white men who are killed, there are more white men who are killed by police officers than there are women of all races combined, black, Latina, Asian, white, all women combined. There's more white men that are killed by police than there are women total. Wouldn't that also you'd have to be wow, there's sexism against men.
Yeah. Yeah. If those were the statistics, then I would
It
agree.
is the statistics.
Yeah,
so,
then I would agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you bring up choice. Well, men choose to commit these crimes. Okay, well then black people also choose to disproportionately commit crimes?
But
No, that's not what she said at all. She said men choose the circumstances they get left in because they are inherently more violent than women. So most likely they probably put themselves in these situations because they're different than women. There's no difference between black people and other people other than the shit that they do, but we can't think of a physical specific difference between blacks and everyone else. But there is a specific difference between men and women. She's right, and she's really whooping Brian in this fucking argument.
Like, I want to separate the race from the gender. Like, to have, like, the majority of men are all races. Like, it doesn't matter what race you are. Like, you're a man. And, like, the majority of you are acting crazy.
No, the majority of men are not acting crazy.
But why would you think that?
Why would you're the one making the claim that it's the majority. It's the majority of men.
I think
Do we
she's
have a
just
mod in the
speaking
chat?
from
He's on
personal
the ropes.
I'm
experience.
speaking from personal experience,
Brian's on the ropes.
experience from other people. Like,
Okay, but check this out. Let's just say hypothetically, I had 3, 4, 5 bad experiences with black people. Would that then give me justification to say the majority of black people are bad? Would that be
no.
logically sound? Right. So I get that you've had a lot of bad experiences with men. I'll even, sure, I'll grant it. That wouldn't then give you the basis to say the majority of men are bad. Just because you've had a lot of bad experiences.
But it's like there's only 2 genders here. There's multiple races. So for you to
Okay.
yeah, so like if one race, 5 people of the same race did something to you, it's just way the grand scheme of things is like there's only 2 genders. One of them is acting more crazy than the other. And that's just my opinion. It like, and they're all multiple races,
Very
so it really
simple.
doesn't matter what race you are.
But
It's the majority of a whole gender. It's
not the
past a race.
majority.
It's a whole gender.
It's not
I'm
the
talking
majority,
about.
right? But you're doing this sort of collective guilt thing. You're basically saying, oh, well, I've had these bad experiences and these crimes disproportionately. Men commit these crimes disproportionately as compared to women. So ergo, like all men bad or majority of men bad. It's clearly not true. It's not true. Trust me, if the majority of men were as bad as you think they are, trust me, society would be giga-fucked. There'd be
It
mass
is.
amounts.
We
It's
are.
not. No, it's not. There's issues with society. There are issues. But trust me, I don't think you understand like societal collapse, really.
We're on the way there.
No.
He tried to change the subject to societal collapse. I apologize for calling her stupid. She won the argument. Brian, you're wrong, and I'm starting to think you're a little bit racist. I'm out.